Good morning, Intenders.
Good morning.
Welcome back to Morning Intentions. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. Normally, since it is the end of the month, we would reflect on the last month, but since we are continuing our topic, we'll just continue our topic and keeping on with codependency in our book study of Too Much by Terry Cole. Annette, I can sense you are chomping at the bit.
I am once again chomping at the bit.
Well, don't let me hold you back. What's on your mind?
We're beginning with chapter 7, which is the first chapter in part 2. It's called Becoming Emotionally Resilient. It starts out with the story of a woman named Randy. She's 30-something years old. She's on the board of a domestic violence shelter. What Terry Cole explains about Randy is that she had a very traumatic experience early on in her childhood, and then her mom got her and her siblings into safety. Her mom was able to provide safety and stability for the rest of her childhood. So her trauma was really based on very, very early experiences. I can't overstate this. We can have experiences when we're a child that maybe even our siblings do not have. And they stick with us, and they're past trauma. They can really influence how we're showing up today. And yet, someone from the outside might say, oh, well, Randy, at least your mom, she found safety for you eventually. You had a stable childhood the rest of the time.
So someone outside the situation can come in and show you the silver lining.
Or kind of diminish your experience, even if your siblings are a little bit younger than you, and you're the oldest one, and you have a certain experience, and the sibling is younger, and they might say, well, it wasn't that bad to me. It may not have been that bad for the sibling. We can't say that the sibling isn't telling the truth, but where this gets, to me, so destructive, and I'm going to use the word destructive, where this gets destructive is when other people share their commentary about our lived experience.
And that's called an empathy blocker.
No one knows what we went through but us. Remember, Gabor Mate, trauma isn't what happens to you. Trauma is what happens inside of you when an event occurs. So trauma isn't the event. Someone can say, well, it wasn't that bad. Doesn't sound that bad to me. Well, they weren't there most of the time. And if they were there, they're a different person. And it's what happens inside of you, not the event itself. So I want us all to accept that about ourselves. And if you have someone in your life and they're expressing sorrow, fear, trauma about an event, and you hear about the event and you say, well, it doesn't sound that bad to me, please look at them with eyes of empathy and share only empathy with them. Do not share judgment, because your judgment is completely misplaced. There's no way that you can judge someone else's experience. There is no way that you can judge what happens inside of someone else. It's impossible. So don't do it.
I appreciate you sharing all of that because it can be so easy to have those empathy blockers. Remember, one of the empathy blockers that we've talked about here is educating, which is you tell people, well, here's a lesson that you could learn from this, or you diminish what the other person has experienced. We don't even need to do that because what someone experienced is their experience. It's not your experience because you're a different person. You have a different perception of the situation. You may have had entirely different experiences even with the same person. We need to take a step back as humans and not judge each other's experience, but listen with open minds, open hearts to what someone else is saying. That's the only way healing happens. If the moment we start judging someone else's healing journey or what they've experienced, we've cut off connection, we've cut off healing. And here on Morning Intentions, we don't want to do that. We want to help each other heal to the best of our abilities. And I think what you're sharing in it is the best thing to do. Don't put our judgment over someone else's experience. Just listen. Don't give commentary. Don't give our opinion about it. Literally, just listen. And if we've got to say something, reflect back the feelings and needs that we hear. Beyond that, we don't even need to say that much. We just need to be, like I said, open-minded and open-hearted and be that listening ear. Because something magical happens when people know they've been heard and they've been seen and they've been known for who they are and what they've been through.
That is so true. If you want to cut off connection with someone, the opposite is true. I had an experience where I was relating about, to me, what was a very traumatic experience, and I was sharing it with somebody who I thought was close to me. And their response was, doesn't sound that bad to me.
When you just say that, that's like a gut punch to me. It didn't even happen to me.
I will never forget that. It happened on my birthday.
Oh.
They were giving me a birthday call. So obviously this was a person that quote unquote cared about me. But when we started talking about this event that I found traumatic, the response of, it doesn't sound that bad to me, that did something to me inside. I don't have that person in my life anymore. And I didn't cut them off just because of that. It just was something that faded away. And I never felt close to them after that.
They weren't safe anymore.
Exactly. And this is one of those things that I think if you don't know, you don't know. And if you do know, you do know. When you have an experience like that where somebody is pretty much flippant with your trauma, what that does is you then know instinctively, and maybe I didn't have the words, that person is no longer safe, but I no longer felt safe with that person. It was right there, can point to that discussion. And it wasn't only that discussion, and it seemed like there were other discussions where it was that same sort of sentiment. I don't know where the person was coming from, but for me, I couldn't share what was true inside of me anymore. So please, if you have had traumatic experiences and you receive a flippant response like I did, seek out safe support. And please know that you don't have to suffer in silence because one person is so uncaring or so oblivious to how care would look that they shut you down. Because there are many people, just like Ada is saying, who want to see you, who want to understand you, who want to know you. And that's how we heal. When we're seen, we're heard, and we're known. So if you have an experience like that, don't stop there, is what I'm trying to say. Don't stop with that one person. And we don't have to demonize that person. They don't know. But also know who is safe in your life to share these things with. And seek out safe support.
So our intention for today is, I will seek out safe support. I will seek out safe support, especially when I'm sharing something that's close to my heart. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our day is better because you are part of our day. See you tomorrow.
See you then.